My Hero Academia. This is back to the
That's
audio only just for this one because Thurman is apparently drunk and self-conscious about how he looks right now.
Yay! All right.
Enjoy. He's not like shit-faced drunk, but he's a little tipsy, so it should be fun.
So, bro, I just have to say, man, this chapter, I fucking enjoyed this chapter so much. It was so short, but yet maybe because I read it when I was drunk, but I don't know. I fairly enjoyed this.
That's
chapter.
a good rule of thumb, I think. Just read every chapter while you're drunk, and you'll love it more.
Like twice, and like just the interaction between the League of Villains is just like, Dobby's just like, why the fuck would I help you?
Dude, yeah, Twice is wholesome. Like, I never realized how wholesome Twice is, but he's like saying some shit that I would say, like, I love you guys. I don't know how my life would be without you. Like, it's kind of adorable. And dear Jesus God, I had no idea he could make that many clones. That is insane.
So his quirk is more deeply explained, right?
Yes.
So I thought it was just like a double clone. So basically, what it is that he could make copies of things, and every copy is weaker than the original. So,
right,
it's an interesting ability. So
it kind of reminds me of have you ever played the card game Super Fight?
I have not.
Oh, you would love it. It's literally a whole card game about fucking versus battling. Like you pick a card and it'll be like, my character is a lumberjack who can shoot lasers out of his eyes, and your character is this versus that. Who would win? And then you debate. And you just pick a bunch of different cards. And yeah, anyway, one of the cards in Super Fight is can make clones, but each clone is half the intelligence, so they get stupider and stupider.
Ooh, that sounds sexy.
Yeah, so it kind of reminds me of that, but with his, it's weaker and weaker.
You know what else sounds sexy? The use of this ability. I mean, think about it, right? This just
orgies, like all day, every day.
Imagine an orgy with multiple versions of you and your wife, man. Think about that.
I think we found out why Toga is such a fan of Twice.
Bro, just imagine coming home. You get in the shower. You ready? Use your quirk. Like 5 of you, and you make 5 of your wife. Just like full on orgy.
Bruh. And now would that be the thing where they would do the whole Naruto style like clone jutsu return, and then they would feel the pleasure of 5 people in one? I'm feeling the constant pleasure, the continuous pleasure of 5 orgasms in one body. That's some hentai logic shit right there.
Do you realize if Twice really wanted to, he could technically fuck himself?
Yeah, dude. And the question is, if Twice fucks himself, is that masturbation, sex, incest? What is that?
It's self-cessed.
Yeah, self-cessed.
Self-cessed.
Is that on Urban Dictionary? Has anyone ever fucking used that phrase? I need to know. Hold on, self-cessed. Oh, yep. Oh, wow. Oh, my God. All right. Noun, fiction slang. Sexual activity with an alternate version of oneself, such as a clone version or someone from the or version from the past, or an alternate universe. Self-cessed. Wow, that wasn't even Urban Dictionary. That just came up on Google. I'm not even fucking kidding. I'm gonna send this to you. It literally is not Urban Dictionary. It's like a legit website. Look at this. It came up all professional. Like I'm proud of that. I'm proud of you, Google.
Bro, that shit. We're evolving as a culture.
Oh yeah,
I love it.
100%. So go ahead. What you saying?
It's crazy to me, like. So, man, I keep saying this, but Hirokoshi is just piling it on about this quirk evolution shit.
Everyone's quirk is on like overdrive. Now he's not angry about it. To clarify, we've accepted it. At this point.
This man, like you can tell when an author is trying to beat it into your skull about a certain thing.
Quirks are evolving now. Accept it.
Like look at him. He's like, the ice dude is like literally like, and there's something I want to mention here too. He's just like, the Liberation Army is about using their quirks to their natural ability, like using their quirks naturally. So we're going to establish a society where the strength is where your place in society will be determined by the strength of your ability. So if you want to fucking live,
actually kind of fucked up.
If you want to live in our new society, you're gonna have to be a fucking so a great quirk. So imagine people like Mineta, people like the tail guy, people like fucking the people like the one guy who
Even
has
they're better off than people like there are some people whose quirks aren't like you couldn't fight with them. Like there's people that like squirt a small jet of water out of their hand. There's people that like fucking Deku's mom is just like slight telepathy. Like where she can like barely lift a fucking potted plant. Like so I mean that's actually like when he said that actually put the Liberation Army in a whole new light, and that actually kind of makes them much more unsympathetic to me because basically what they're advocating for is a survival of the fittest style society, which is very fucked up. It's going back to like the barbaric days where like I mean there were cultures back in the day where like if your child was born autistic or like they didn't have a word for it, but it was like, oh, this kid's a little different, chuck him into the fucking volcano, you know what I mean? Like that's the kind of shit they're implying because basically yes, you can train your quirk to an extent to make it more powerful, as seen with this ice guy. But what if you're born with a shit quirk? Like, oh well, you're just a fucking bottom class citizen now. That's fucked.
Like, imagine making fun of someone for something that they're born with, and that's always been even in real life. It's always baffling.
Yeah.
Like, why make fun of someone?
Why judge anyone based off of anything they can't control? People can't control their race. People can't control their gender. People can't control, yada 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 XYZ. Why judge people based off of that, right? So I mean, yeah, quirks are the same thing.
So it's just to me, it's kind of crazy. How...
And you know what? Actually, it's funny because Deku was born quirkless. So imagine what a quirkless person would be in this society. It'd be even worse.
They'd be dead.
They'd be fucking scum, useless. Like, because, I mean, the Liberation Army, they give me the vibe of the people that are like, oh, yes, it's the next evolution of mankind, and we must embrace it, yada, yada, yada. Which makes me think that they think that anyone that doesn't have a quirk should just be killed off. Almost like Hitler style, like, that's the weaker bloodline. We gotta eradicate it, Can't let them reproduce.
Kill that bloodline.
Kill the quirkless. Bro, I want a fucking poster, like, those propaganda posters? I want a propaganda poster with this motherfucker, like this Joker-looking motherfucker's face, and it says, kill the quirkless.
We need you. Only
kill
you.
The quirkless.
Only you can kill the quirkless.
Doesn't kill the quirkless sound like a fucking slogan for, like, a cult?
Bro.
I'm just saying, like, I can see it. Kill the quirkless. He's got, like, an Uncle Sam pose going on.
Could you imagine? Oh my god, I feel so bad.
It's fucked up.
I feel awful.
See, the sucky part is it's so annoying because like it's just like real assholes in real life. Where like there was elements of their plan that like okay, I see your point, but then they come out and say some shit like this, and then you've lost me. You know what I mean? It's
shit! It's Hirokoshi. It's Hirokoshi kind of. See, in our tier list, we put.
No, I'm not saying the manga's lost me. I'm saying like the Liberation Army that they've lost me. Like as like
oh man, like the Liberation Army was fucking interesting, but we put in our tier list we put My Hero Academia great, and this is the reason why it's not a masterpiece. Just saying.
What's the reason to you? Nice sniff.
We'll just fucking like a full on fucking flip. Now they want some air. Well, to be fair, maybe it's just this guy who sees Liberation Army.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think that this guy is very like obsessed with his quirk. Like I mean, we saw last time his whole thing was I dropped out of school and life and everything to just devote my life to my quirk. So I mean, that's kind of the vibe I get from this guy.
Back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, you could drop out of school to do your profession. Nowadays, if you drop out of school, you're just gonna end up homeless.
Yeah, and even if you don't, you probably end up homeless.
Bernie for 2019. I mean, for
2020, but yeah. Bernie for every year. Sorry if you don't like my political opinion.
Sorry if you don't like political shit, but technically the Liberation Army is a political movement, so...
I feel like we can get by with enough viewers without the Trump guy. If you like Trump, you don't gotta watch us. It's fine. I'm not pandering to you.
We're not pandering to your... Pandering.
Okay. We better stop talking about politics there, man. Here comes the dislikes. I feel them.
Really be like that sometimes.
Yo. Okay. Other things. So, really quickly, I did want to bring this up because I promised some commenters. We be at that popularity level, Thurman, where I uploaded One Piece today. I'm not fucking kidding you. I uploaded One Piece, Immediately. I'm talking within 5 minutes of me uploading it. The first 2 comments I get are, well, you didn't do a My Hero review last week. What's your thoughts on My Hero last week? I'm not literally. I was almost honored by that.
We didn't review last week?
No, we didn't.
Oh, wow. I'm stupid. I thought we did.
That's why we high key. That's why I was all about like we got to get shit on time this week because we faltered last week. So real quick thoughts on like the last week stuff with Twice and like him getting out of his stupor and stuff like just so people wanted to know our thoughts on that.
I mean, like I said in the thing that I thought we did.
In your mind.
I thought that. I did like Twice's backstory, although I think just a 1 chapter up, he's over it now, was kind of quick. But then again, like I guess it made sense since it was a build up. So I don't know. It was still a decent chapter. I give it like a 7.
Yeah, this chapter way better for sure.
Yeah, extremely.
And I wanted to talk about art-wise, the amount of double-page spread, like the double-page spreads all looked fucking phenomenal in this chapter. Like it just every time I see Horikoshi's art, I'm like, God damn, you got good art. And I think that makes the action feel so much more like you know how you read some manga and their action is just it's hard to follow. Like Horikoshi's action is like really easy to follow because his art is like clean and it's just nice to look at,
Oh yeah, that man knows how to draw his art.
Okay, a couple other things to point out here. Let's see. Okay, here's what we need to talk about. Mr. Gorilla's Feel Good Inc. motherfucker. He's got some anger issues.
Bro, this guy.
Yo, he just silently walks away and he's just like, I don't fail. That's not a thing I do.
This guy is a perfectionist. You can tell.
Yo.
He's pissed. He's like, this dude's like, Rick Destro's like, oh, I'm sorry. It's such a weird thing to see you fail. It's so rare to
see you fail. He's doing it like super condescendingly too.
He reminds me of, it's not exactly the same, but he reminds me of that one character from One Piece who Doffy was always like, he would always be like, no, I can't do this. I won't do this. And shit like that. And Doffy's like, you can do this. He's like, oh.
Diamante. Yeah, Diamante was, his whole thing was like no, he was always like hard on himself, and then Doflamingo would be like, like, no, you should do it. No, you should do it. And then he'd be like, all right, I guess you can't do it. I'll do it.
I don't know why it reminded me of that, but it's completely different. But yet somehow his character. Can you see it? Can you see that shit?
I mean, well, first of all, I just want to talk about the 3 panels where he just silently walks away. I knew some shit was going down because already I was like, that's weird, the amount of detail on him walking away. So like him kind of doing that silent like walk away. This guy he's scary. Like he's a fucking freak. I mean, he's like, look at what he does. I'm trying to think of. I don't really know what to think about this guy other than he's a perfectionist. He's very he's very to me his thoughts on like life and human life are probably not a lot or not of high esteem because I mean his quirk is to like make human like objects. I would be curious if the things he make have any sort of like not free will or sentience or if they're just puppets that he controls. We see him typing to control them, but it is fucked up that he has like people like he sits on people, he has people holding shit for him, so I mean he gives me the vibe of someone who just like he's like lost touch with fucking humanity and reality. I don't know, I'd have to see more about him, but like he gives me the heebie-jeebies for sure.
The heebie-jeebies.
Yeah. Other things. Let's see here. Oh, okay. So, and then, obviously, we see more Dobby. Ice Dude here. This guy's ice powers are getting more and more complex every time we learn about them, and I love that. So, first, it's like, I control ice. I'm like an ice bender. And then, second, it's like, no, first I thought he made ice. Then it was like, no, I actually control all ice. Then, now it's, not only do I control ice, but all the ice I control the temperature of it at will. So you see Dobby melt some, he just immediately refreezes it.
Hirokoshi's giving this man some fan fiction level shit right now. Sorry. What he is.
But again, I think that's okay because what has been established about this guy? His entire fucking life has been training his quirk.
So, like, honestly speaking, it feels I'm sorry. I'm saying negative about this. I don't
Bro,
I don't
Thurman,
mind.
you're high key. Like I think you are way too fucking. I don't even know. I disagree. It's not that big of a deal, man. What is your deal? Like this is you're pulling such a me right now. I'm usually the fucking buzzkill cunt.
I'm gonna kill it right now.
Why?
I don't mind.
Here
I don't
comes
mind.
the dislikes. I'm so sorry.
I don't mind his quirk evolving, but I just think that the way Hirokoshi is just like every chapter is something new. Like I have pyrokinesis. Oh, now I control ice. Oh, now I can also manipulate the temperature of ice. It's just like at the start, Hirokoshi has always been with his quirks. It's just like this quirk does this. Like this is the fundamentals of the quirk. And then, like later on, you know, if a certain thing of our quirk changes, he'll add it on, which is fine.
I think I get what you're saying. Well, let me see if I can figure out what you're saying here. So, you would rather it be here's everything about the quirk up front, and now I'll use it in clever ways with no like surprises, instead of because I kind of get where you're coming from. It could be argued that it's a lazy author method. Like this is something that Kubo did a lot with Bleach, right? Where a lot of times the shock or the cliffhanger in a fight would be, my power can do this, but my power can also do this, right? So Horikoshi's clearly using it as like a, but it also does this, you know, to throw off Dabi. Now, what's interesting is, you know, it can be, that is something that can be used well, but also can be overused. So for example, in like something like Bleach, for example, you'd have a lot of like, but I can also do this, but I can also do this, and that would be like all of the like strategy in the fight would be, just kidding, I have a new power, new form, new power up, new this. But in like, let's talk like a very good series, like let's say either JoJo or Hunter x Hunter, you could argue that a good author would establish a power up front. So like, let's look at a stand, for example. A lot of times stand battles, it's not like, oh, all of a sudden, here's this new thing you had no idea I could do, and here's this new thing you could, like, it's like you know what the main character's stands can do. They're not just unlocking new abilities with their stand, they're using it in different ways. So is your argument that you'd rather it be that rather than just all this revealing stuff?
Yeah, honestly, because it just feels kind of lazy, because Hirokoshi has never done this before. It's mostly just been
just calling it out. Now that you've said he's never done this before, I'm waiting for like 70 comments of all the times he's done it before. Like,
the raging in My Hero Academia fanboys rushing in to defend their precious series.
I never realized. I'm honored. My Hero Academia is like our biggest series. Like people fucking flipped when we didn't upload My Hero. So I'm very happy to hear that. Thank you for being here. And if you're mad at anything we're saying, you know I read all them comments. Put it in nicely, please. I have feelings, and you know it's very possible that we fuck up, we forget some shit.
So I mean, it's fine. I like his quirk. Being able to manipulate temperatures of ice is cool and everything, but it's just like Hirokoshi, my dude. Like, what are you doing? You're doing some like.
I like that it's complex though. So I would rather it be this complex and not just ice manipulation. So I prefer what he's. Yeah.
But Red, two things. First, the complexity is fine. I don't mind that. But weren't you the one who says it's not about the power; it's how it's used?
Yes.
So I mean. Take that as
I know where you're coming from. I guess, like, to me, nothing about this power has jumped the shark yet. To me, it seems.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Like if it happens again, like next chapter, it's like, and also my ice does this, etc. thing. Then it'd be like, okay, you know. But like, I agree with you that like
every time you touch my.
What's up?
Every time my ice touches you, you freeze instantly.
So, but here's what I'll say, right? So, like, I feel what you're saying. You're fucking throwing me off. I can't remember what I was gonna say. Yes, I see what you're saying with that. Because it is, I've seen series before where they focus on the powers, right? Horikoshi's strength is not fights. He's got really good art. His fights are like fireworks. It's a spectacle, but there's not a lot of substance or meat in his fights typically. I'm not the first one to say this. I don't remember. Was it Nux? Who did the video talking about how like My Hero fights actually aren't that good when it comes to a fight perspective, but they're really good from a character perspective.
Gigik.
Yeah. We're not the first people to say that. This is just a fact. Like his fight, like because it is true that he's pulling what in most other manga I would have an issue with, which is the majority of like the ooh factor being the power itself, because that has been one of my quotes that I've said many times to Thurman. it is how you use the power, not the power itself. Because a lot of authors have this tendency to just want to make a unique power, and they think that'll get through it. It's like, no, because you can have, like, let's talk Gon's fucking Nen power. He's got Jajanken. That's, when you boil it down, it's just a fucking super punch. But he uses it in unique ways, Same with Jotaro. What did he have? Aura. Bunch of fucking punches. But there was a lot of strategy there. So you don't have to make a complex power to make an interesting fight. But vice versa, that doesn't mean make all your powers simple either. I like this power. I like the fact that it's not just ice. But it does sometimes feel like Horikoshi is just relying. I see where you're coming from. Sometimes it feels like he's maybe just relying on the complexity of it. It hasn't bothered me yet, but I can see where you're coming from a little bit, Thurman.
Bro, I think I'm saying stuff now because this is like my second favorite series of all time. So I'm way more.
You're holding it to a high standard, like a best friend who just started doing cocaine and is about to kill themselves.
Yeah, so it's just.
Tell me that's a good metaphor.
My issue is with the power itself.
Horikoshi, no.
It isn't the issue with the power itself. It's how it's being presented. It's just like you basically summed that up in a few words. It's just like
more than a few.
Now I can do this, or now I can do this. Like, bro, Hirokoshi, to my knowledge, to all the fanboys in our comments are saying, "Well, no, actually, if you go back to
chapter 300, wait, that's not that many."
When you go back to chapter 100,
175, page 3, section. I don't know. If you go to the data book,
it's like it's always been. This is their quirk. Here's how their quirk works. The limitations of it. Yada yada yada.
Ugh.
And if the quirk changes or evolves, Hirokoshi explains like why it was evolved. Why, yada, 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 shit like that, or what that evolved version of it does.
All right. So just to like kind of cut off the potential comments that we're going to get, I'm going to play the part of the angry commenter, okay? Thurman, it feels like you're just kind of like looking for shit to complain about. That's comment number 1 that I can see. What's your response to just, well, Thurman, you're just looking for shit to complain about. What's up with that?
I mean... Let's be honest here. I don't complain just to complain. So if there's something to complain about, then and if Red agrees with me, he obviously knows that clearly there's something wrong. Because I mean,
I would. So my take on this is to me it hasn't gone into the realm of being like wrong yet, but it's like
of course
it's
not.
like I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, it hasn't gotten to like I keep saying, I have no issue with the power itself. I just have an issue with how it's being presented.
Right. Fair enough.
It's not what Hirokoshi's writing isn't like this. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's just like
I'd be curious if the commenters. I'm curious on your genuine thoughts on this. If I think of it, I probably won't because I have bad memory. But if I think of it, I might make a poll. Do you think that Horikoshi's quality has gone down to, in my mind, it was the Gentle Criminal arc, up till the Gentle Criminal arc, and through the Gentle Criminal arc, because I fucking love that might even be my favorite arc, I'll be honest. I thought it was a damn near perfect series. And then, since then, it has felt, not like it's bad at all. In fact, it's still very good, but, like, it genuinely has felt like Horikoshi, like, walked outside, hit his head real hard, and then walked back in, and he's, like, writing it in, like, a half comatose state, where it's, like, it's still Horikoshi at the heart, but, like, something happened, Like, I don't know if I'm nuts. It does kind of feel like that occasionally. Again, not to say that it's bad. It's still, like, to me, it went from, like, a 100% series to, like, a 95. That's about it. That's all the change it is for me. But, like, there's something. There's something weird. That's all I'll say.
Hirokoshi is upset because his best friend, Tabata Sensei, Black Clover, is not getting much hate as it used to. Now people are starting to fucking have a war. He's also upset because series like Jujutsu Kaisen, Chainsaw Man, Kimetsu no Yaiba are coming up. His series is no longer the series that's rivaling Naruto right now.
He has kind of become the he's starting to become the what's it called, the veteran now. Like he's kind of getting into that, isn't he? Like he's about to become the I don't know. He is the next Oda, Kishimoto, Kubo. Like I mean, he's almost there at this point. Like he's not the newbie anymore. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, technically him and Tsubasa aren't. Like once you reach that 200 mark, you're no longer a fucking newbie, man. you're a veteran.
It's true.
Like I would say once you pass like that 3 or 4 year mark, I would say you're like at that level, because 3 or 4 years of your series is like what, 200, 300 chapters at latest.
Yeah. Well, anyway, let's move on. We find out that Dobby's skin situation is apparently something that, like, his own quirk burns him. Did you get that same thing?
Yeah, it seems to be like he has so so when I first saw that, I was like, okay, he must have, like, Endeavor must have burned this guy alive.
Yeah, I assume Endeavor just fucked him. That's what I thought, but yeah.
bro, we're dark as fuck. We're assholes, man.
Hey, man, fathers beating their kids happens. That's a thing that happens.
Bro, our first thoughts were like Endeavor roasted this kid at a young age, bro.
Okay. Bro. Did we have abusive fathers?
My father was a lovable man who was not abusive at all.
That's good. My father was an angry man that only hit me twice. So, yeah, I think we're good. He was verbally angry, but he barely ever hit me.
My father never hit me unless I deserved it. He never hit me.
I would argue that I deserved it when I got hit, because it involved being an idiot with a BB gun.
I wouldn't say I wouldn't really say I've gotten hit. I wouldn't call it abusive. Like most parents, most fucking adults now would call like a tap of the fucking wrist to a child abusive. Yeah. But back then we were growing up, the golden age where we weren't fucking pussies, you know.
Whoa, Thurman, have you become an old man? Are you fucking dissing on the young generation? You realize you've officially become old now that you've done that.
I'm just saying, like, I understand that abusive parents are a thing, but punishment by spanking is not abusive at all, or child abuse. It's teaching your kid that happen when you do bad things.
There's a line, just like everything. Like, if you're spanking so hard you're leaving welts, then yes.
Yeah. Don't spank your child when you're angry, ladies and gentlemen. That is not in well for you or your child.
Yes, we need cold, calculative, Kurapika-style spanking.
That's why you have two parents. One to stop the other parent from fucking hurting you.
Yeah, that's why I turned out so amazing, because my mom was good cop and my dad was bad cop. I think
my
it's
mom
raining. Anyway,
50-50. But point being...
See, bro, okay, last question. Either A, our videos are better when there's not face cam, because we just don't care as much about the facial expressions and we focus on audio commentary, or B, our videos are better when you're drunk. Which one is it? Because this is a great video.
I'm usually rarely drunk on videos, so probably the first one.
So, like, wait. So you think we should... Audience, again, I am curious, because this might just be like a worry thought in my head. I feel like I'm better at focusing on being funny and hilarious and snappy and yada yada when it's not face cam. So I am curious what you think. Also, Thurman, take it away with your final thoughts on Gigio, whatever the fuck, waking up because it's pouring outside. My windows are open. I want to make sure it's not raining into my room. I'll be right back.
All right. Not too much, it's just the calm before the storm. Seems like the doctor's finally, starting to see that, the fucking the villain association's starting to getting their ass beat a little bit. So I think it's time to call in the big boys over here. So not too much, a very short chapter as always, but I would honestly give this chapter 9.5 out of 10 in complete honesty.
I can't believe you really stuck with that number rating thing.
Yeah, I have. I'm making it stick.
Don't forget to say would read again. I was watching a bunch of our videos. You say that blank out of 10. Would read again.
No, but it has to be 10 out of 10 because of Silk and Rhyme.
Oh. But yeah, no. So with that boy waking up, so he's waking up earlier than they thought, because they were like, "Oh, we got an hour." Dr. Eggman up in here is like, "Nah, right now." Jim Carrey. I just realized.
So theories, because your boy got to work in the morning.
All I'll say then is final thoughts and predictions. What do you think's gonna happen when this big chonky boy comes over here? And he's kind of like the backup remember, the Liberation Army does not expect that backup. Like, so now we have fucking Twice who's able to just clone them and make, as he put it, a city of Villain League. And now they have big chonky boy, and that's what I'm calling him because I'm worried I'm mispronouncing his name. Basically,
Machina.
they have turned the tables. Like to me, the League of Villains seem to be like in a good place now. You know what I'm saying? Oh, hear that thunder.
I would kind of argue against that. I feel like he still, honestly, I'd be fucking hilarious. It'd be like a whole situation to where like this guy, as soon as he sees fucking Shigaraki, he's going straight after Shigaraki, ignoring everyone else. Like that's hilarious.
Yeah, that actually would be really funny. I don't know. I feel like they're gonna try to like lure him like a fucking like Godzilla. You know, like lure him to fucking. You know what I'm saying? Like and.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would because I don't want the Liberation Army to get beaten yet. They're not gonna get beaten, but I would love to see like this motherfucker's been so confident this whole time, like you know, he's such a confident little prick. I want to see him just be like, oh fuck, they do have another big boy, you know, because his whole thing was they don't have any more numbers, they don't have any of this, blah blah blah. So yeah, I want to see him kind of shit his pants a bit. That's all.
Oh yeah. So that's really about it I have. Like I said, 9.5 out of 10.
Yeah. All right. Put in the comments cause again, this is my genuine question to you. Do you think these videos are better when they're not face cam? Okay. Cause like somehow I feel like I'm quicker, I'm snappier, I'm not focused on this. I don't know if that's just in my head. I want your thoughts on that. Thoughts on My Hero, if Thurman specifically is overreacting about this Quirk situation. I'm kind of indifferent about it. I see his point, not my super thing. But yeah, let us know. I read all the comments. I love you guys. And with that, peace.